Hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully everything's good, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bongo, hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going over Enlisted, the War II free-to-play first-person shooter. Much requested, much talked about. Hey, Bongo, talk about the Battle of Berlin, the Panzer IV 70 Alpha, the gold order vehicle that you can pick up through the Enlisted Logistics tab. You can go redeem by paying roughly 750 gold, or using a gold order, or you can unlock this vehicle by progressing through the campaign tech tree. Now, if you're watching this video, new viewer, possibly new subscriber, maybe you're wondering, Bungo, what do we do here? Well, I'll give you an overview, kind of telling you what this vehicle is. How does it perform? Is it good? Is it bad? Next, talk about the performance. How does it perform out there on the battlefield? And lastly, is it worth it? Do I recommend picking it up? So without further ado, let's begin. Start off in the overview. In Enlisted, there are different types of tanks. We got your light tanks, your medium tanks, your heavy tanks, and your tank destroyer. So this is a tank destroyer. What does a tank destroyer do? Well, basically, it's out there to go and hunt enemy tanks and take them out. Now, talking about the performance, does this tank manage to hunt T-34-85s and perform well with it? Well, generally, in my opinion, the 75mm gun on this vehicle, and it has a very limited traverse, is that it performs, in my opinion, the same as a 75mm gun on the Panzer IV. Unfortunately, it does not perform like the Panther round or like the Panzer, where you basically will one-shot T-34-85s with it, especially if you aim at the turret traverse, weak point, turret ring. Well, no, this tank, for whatever reason, copies everything that the Panzer IV has and kind of just applies it to make it look like a tank destroyer. And in my opinion, this is kind of like, I guess, the poor man's version of a Panzer, where, yes, it has a limited traverse, so the gun arc on it is limited to frontally, and you have to move your tank around if you want to go and use that gun, to actually use your gun if you want to aim at something. And also the coaxial machine gun on this is 7.62mm machine gun. It acts very weird when you're trying to aim through the gunner sight, so you have to go add, the command report and try to aim with it and try to get kills with it. Honestly, this tank does really bad when it comes to dealing with infantry, and when it comes to facing a T-34-85, like engaging it, you will get penetrated and you will get taken out pretty easily. So, moving down, is it worth it? Is it worth kind of switching out the Panther G or the Panzer IV? Well, hopefully, if you reach this point in the campaign level where you unlock this, or you have the potential to get this, or the Panther G, you should get the Panther G. The reason why the Panther G is a better tank than the Panzer IV 70 Alpha is pretty much two reasons. One, you have a turret. So with a turret, you can maneuver your turret around 360 degrees to go and engage any enemy threat that comes up, whether it be tanks, whether it be infantry. Next is that the Panther G is actually more armored, a better platform. Against a T-34-85 driver that doesn't know what they're doing, you will pretty much win that engagement. An experienced T-34-85 driver, well, it comes down to who gets a really good shot on the enemy, but in general, you will have an increased survivability playing the Panther G, whereas when you're playing the Panzer IV 70 Alpha, it's just a brick that just drives around the battlefield that can get easily taken out by any enemy threat that the Russians have, whether it be a T-34-85, IS-1, or S-285. You basically have thin armor with a gun that performs very badly, whereas the Panther G, when it fires its 75mm round, will have the potential to one-shot T-34-85s instead of just tickle them and do a little bit of damage. That's my personal preference. I would highly recommend passing this vehicle, even though it may look really cool in the Enlisted Gold Order Redemption side. I would not recommend picking this up. I would just stick with the Panther G. The Panther G is the better tank, and that's my 2 cents on that. If you reach this point in the video, new viewer, possibly new subscriber, well, I hope today is the day that I earn your subscription. Having your sub and mash that like button does help me with the YouTube algorithm. Returning sub, returning viewer, let me know if you actually picked up the Panzer IV 70 Alpha and you had any luck with it. Honestly, it's not a good tank. The event vehicle, the Panzer, is leagues better than this. Does everything that a tank destroyer should do without having any issues and having better armor and a better gun. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.